Federal police investigation into the transfer of millions of dollars from the Vatican to Australia has stepped up a gear with a story today alleging that the sum of money involved is up to $2.3 billion, not million. The Australian's political editor, Dennis Shanahan, broke the story today and claims the money was moved at about the same time Australian Cardinal George Pell was being investigated by police. He joins me now. Good evening to you, Dennis.
Good evening, Chris.
It's not extraordinary that the Vatican would send the Catholic Church in Australia money. It was right up until 2017, many millions of dollars, but nothing like you have discovered, an extraordinary amount. It's jumped into the billions.
Indeed, Chris. And look, most of the time, if you speak to senior church figures, they say that the money goes from countries, from Australia to the Vatican. And the AUSTRAC, that's the Australian Financial International Transfer Watchdog, listed a number of transactions where money was going from Australia to the Vatican. But in most years, it's about $15, $16 million. And it goes to charities, it goes to missions, etc. What we've seen and what AUSTRAC, and this is an informal report by AUSTRAC, into the amount of money coming from Vatican City to Australia between 2014 and 2020, to the year to date so far, and it amounts to just on $2.3 billion. Now, again, there may be all sorts of reasonable explanations for this, but the extraordinary thing is that when I tried to find out where the money went and spoke to senior figures in the Catholic Church yesterday, they hadn't heard about it.
Right.
In fact, on one occasion, the phone I thought had gone dead. And the senior person I was talking to, I said, "Are you there?" He said, "Yes, I'm just so flabbergasted at what you've just told me."
Okay,
They had no idea.
Then there's this shady Vatican cardinal who was accused of embezzlement, who may have been caught up in this, and the suspicion is that this money is given to persons or person in Australia to try and set up Cardinal Pell. That's the ultimate conspiracy, right?
Well, it certainly, that is the view, that allegations had been made, that money was transferred from the Vatican to Australia to adversely affect the trial of Cardinal Pell, and that witnesses may have been assisted in giving evidence against Cardinal Pell as part of a fit-up for the Cardinal. But what we actually see today from these figures is a reason why they would want Cardinal Pell fitted up. We are talking now about billions of dollars that nobody knows where it's coming from or where it's going to or who's controlling it. There are all sorts of reasons where this money could be going. We've seen allegations of money laundering, charges of extortion already being laid at the Vatican. And, there may be the expectation of more charges soon. So what we're seeing is that when Cardinal Pell was appointed as the financial director of the Vatican, he started to close down dodgy accounts. He started to close down these so-called cipher accounts, which were given in the name of the Vatican, but not necessarily Vatican money. They could have been used for any purpose up to terrorism, money laundering, organised crime, and nobody could say, no, it wasn't.
And George Pell was on the tail of this, wasn't he? He was chasing this.
Exactly. And what happens with these figures? In 2014, the figure was about $71 million coming from the Vatican to Australia. By the time that George Pell had been sidelined from his job, had been charged for historical sexual abuses, for which he was acquitted, and was removed from his key post of cleaning up the Vatican finances, the money rocketed. It doubled, and then it went up 8 times. To 2017, $580 million, more than $500 million, came to Australia in 1 year, and we can't find a Catholic bishop who says, yes, I saw a brass razoo of that money. This is an extraordinary story. There's more to come, and we have to pursue the money trail. That's the key in this, and we will see what other things, such as the allegations about stitching up Cardinal Pell, what will come of them. But what we've seen today from Austrac, published in the Australian, is the scope of the money that is out of control, that people don't know where it's going or what it's being used for.
Wow.